Daddy Cooks. So this is a voiceover. I'm just going to run through how I get to this stage. Don't mind this black screen. My screen is tainted. I need to replace the screen. But so here's the thing. I'll play it now so you can hear the voiceover.
Heroes come in all shapes and sizes. They can change lives, leave a legacy, brighten the day. Here at Sanofi, we know we have our very own heroes.
Cool. So that's the voiceover.
Please subscribe.
So what I will do is I will go in the mix console, and that's the voice there. And on the insets, if we click on the insets, these are insets. In fact, I'll open it up wide. These are all the insets. So I'll switch them all off so you can hear it roll. I'll switch all these. In fact, for this one, I didn't even have to use quite a lot of them to go in that place area, or I can just come here and select and come in the area. Usually I tend to come here so I can see the screen, the EQ screen, and also the timeline of the vocal. So what I tend to do, I'll play it now. I've switched off the plugins, and I'll be adding them one by one. So first of all, if you look at here, I do an edit where if there are spaces, say for example those spaces there where there's some breathing, I cut that out, and it's just to give it a bit more cleaner sound so that the breathing is not in there. So I cut those out, the spaces, I cut them out so that when the cursor is running through there, it's all silent.
They can change.
You see, so already by cutting these spaces here, already we're hearing
Heroes come in all shapes and sizes.
some clearness.
They can change lives, leave a legacy.
Some clearness in the vocals. But then we want to come into cleaning up the vocal itself, like in between those. So this is where I come in. So I start with the EQ. So EQ, I first start, I'll just EQ with this. I'm not going to use Fab Filter EQ. I'm going to use this one because it's easy, because each DAW has its own EQ. So I'm using this one to just show that even the EQ that comes with it is good enough. So I used the EQ of the DAW on this one. When I'm doing music, I usually use the EQ, Fab Filter EQ, but this one for voiceovers, I just use this one because it's just as good. So I go on the bass and I cut out all the low frequency all the way up to 20 hertz. Ideally, if you can go slightly further, you could, but I cut it off up to 20 hertz, negative 24 dB, and then I go on. I press the seconds. So the second band here is 2. So when I press the 2 right in the middle there, I cut it down. I bring it down to about negative 8 dB, about somewhere there. But the hertz, I go to about 250, between 250 and 260. I cut it out just up to, yes, I can say somewhere there. What it is doing is it cuts out all the low frequencies that are not wanted, and also the slightly middle frequencies that are not wanted. So all we're having is the vocal running through. Remember, your voice already is natural, is a natural bass, so you don't really need that enhancement of low frequencies. So if you just hear what we've done so far,
Heroes come in all shapes and sizes.
so you can hear the
They can
difference.
change lives, leave a legacy.
Between
Oh,
that
brighten the day.
and that.
Here at Snowy, we
Between
know
that
we have our very own heroes.
and that. When you adjust
So,
that.
we want to find these superstars and honor them.
Yeah. Somewhere about
Introducing the Sinofi Play to Win Hero Awards.
Okay, so we've sort of EQ'd it a little bit. The next thing I tend to do is then to add more cleaner within the timeline. I come and add the NS1. So I'll switch on the NS1. Sorry. So the NS1 is a background noise reducer. So I'll play the track so you can actually hear when I bring
Heroes come in all shapes and
I'll bring it to
sizes.
0. So when I switch on this plugin,
They can change lives, leave a legacy.
you can hear
Oh, brighten the day.
the clearness. But
Here
when
at Snowy, we know we have our very
you
own
pull it-
heroes. So, we want to find these superstars
you can
and
hear
honor them.
it's
Introducing the
it's
Sinofi
cleanliness.
Play to Win
So you can
Hero
all-
Awards.
You can bring it all the way up.
4 fantastic awards to recognize our very own heroes.
But that's an overkill. So just
Stretch,
gauge and
take
see
action,
the
act for
background
patients and customers,
noise that is
and
eliminating.
think Finofi
And
first.
this
Now,
will
the
tell
power
you
is in your
how much
hands.
elimination is doing.
Who will you nominate?
That's the NS1. It's a really good plugin. The next thing I do, so around 30, between 30 and 50 usually is a good background reducer because you still want to keep that natural voice. Next thing I do is I add a compressor. So now on this one I used the compressor that comes with the what do you call this, the DAW. So Nima, I bring the compressor down. If you see, when it usually opens, it opens up there. So I'll play it so you can hear.
Heroes come in all shapes and
So I
sizes.
compress and bring it somewhere
They can
there.
change lives, leave a legacy, or brighten the day.
So it cuts out quite a bit,
Here at Snowy, we know we have
but
our
it
very
brings
own
out
heroes.
more of the voices. So the background
So,
noises
we want
is
to
cutting
find
out and
these
is bringing out
superstars
more
and honor
of the
them.
voice in your face.
Introducing the Sinofi Play to Win Hero Awards.
And then from
4
there,
fantastic awards to recognize
what I didn't
our
do on
very
this
own
vocal is
heroes.
add a de-esser. So I will do the de-esser now.
Stretch,
So you
take
can see
action,
this. So the de-esser
act
that
for
I
patients
use
and customers,
is a waves
and
de-esser.
think
The waves de-esser that I tend to use as the so what I do next is just use the de-esser. So I use the waves de-esser. I tend to play, and then with this one, the
Stretch,
way
take
all you
action,
do is just bring this
act
down.
for patients and customers, and think Finofi first.
When you bring it down,
Now, the power
that
is in your
will start
hands.
showing. When it starts blinking
Who
red
will you
a little
nominate?
bit, then it's actually kind of doing
Stretch,
really good.
take action, act
Yeah,
for patients
somewhere
and
about there.
customers, and think Finofi first. Now, the
So-
power is in your
So we've de-essed it. The next thing I do is I send it to stereo. So I've already sent it to stereo so you can hear it. That's why you can hear it this loud. So it's already on stereo. So what I tend to do with stereo, here's a trick I found. You can choose to take it to just a stereo output and it'll put it on the middle. I want it in the middle, but I want it inside. That's what I tend to do. So what I do is I send it to the left stereo and then I pan it to the right. So what happens when you send it to stereo left and then pan it right, it brings it still in the middle but inside the mix. You will hear when I play the music how it sounds. So I've done pan right and stereo left or pinion. So the next bit I do is add another compressor. Now then I bring in the fab filter compressor 2. All I'm doing in this one,
and
let me switch it
think
on.
Finofi first. Now, the power is in your hands. Who will you nominate?
So when you start talking, you see how it's
Heroes
coming.
come in all
So
shapes and
you can see the
sizes.
vocals there. So what I tend to do is just
Here
get
at
the
Snowy, we know we have
I'll
our
leave
very
it.
own
I usually
heroes.
15,
So
16,
we want to find
negative
these
15, 16
superstars
dB.
and honor them.
And then
Introducing the
attack,
Snowy Play
the
to
attack,
Win Hero
I sort of put
Awards.
it at a
4
0.25
fantastic
or 1.
awards to
And
recognize
then
our very
release,
own
because I want it to
heroes.
come out smoothly. I just leave it
Stretch.
at, I just
Take action.
play around
Act
with
for
this one,
patients and
whichever one.
customers. And
Whichever one it is that releases some words softly. I'll just put it somewhere there. So this one I don't do much of it, but you can also, then I add a gate. But you need to be careful with the gate though, because when you're adding the gate and you just play around with this knob so it doesn't sound like it's cutting real quickly and it's releasing real quickly. And just watch the attack and the release here. But yeah, as you can see, where the threshold is, I've just put it right on top,
for patients
and
and
then
customers.
I've curved the line
Think
slightly
Vinovi
straight
first.
so that the vocal just flows in through the compressor. And then the next thing I do is add the CLA vocals. Now this one, I use it for bass, and I also use it for voiceovers. This also brings out the voice. So, but I like this part over here where it compresses it, but then it pushes out the vocal in your face. So I put it up to about 7, and then I also add the sub. I'll put it up at 3, and then treble. I also add a little bit of treble to about 3, and then I adjust the output volume. So this is the plugin. So
now the power is in your hands. Who will you nominate?
So I'll play this so you can hear the way it sounds when I'll switch it on and switch it back off so you can see. You can use this one if you want, but it's not necessary. I just
Heroes
like adding it
onto shapes
it.
and sizes.
So listen to that.
And under them, introducing the Sinofi Play to Win Hero Awards.
So that's it.
4 fantastic awards to recognize our very own heroes.
So it brings it out more in your face.
Stretch. Take action.
It's
Act
off.
for patients and customers.
It's on.
And think Vinovi first. Now, the power is in your hand.
So with the voice, that's pretty much what I do. Sometimes I can add a bit of a distortion on a fab filter. Saturn. What I tend to do when I switch this on, I add this plugin, but I give it if you see here, it's got different feels. There's clean feel at the top, and then there's broken tube. They're all different, so you can hear.
Who will you nominate?
You can hear the difference. Destroy. That's the destroy. Just hear how it sounds. So you don't want that.
Back in the day.
Rectify.
Own heroes.
Old tape.
So we want to find these superstars and honor them. Introducing the Sinofi Play to Win Hero Awards.
So I just play around with that, and then you can adjust here what you want to do. But that's not a plugin I used on this one, so I'll just take it off. But you can use it. It's really good. Let's go to the music. So now when I add in the music, this is the music track. Now with the music track, if you've got the music, the only thing I do with the music track is take down on the EQ right on the middle. Take it down, and sometimes I take the top ends, but I take down the middle part. Why I do that is because I want the voice to sit in the middle of the track. So while the music and the voice are running, the voice will sit right in the middle. But remember, I panned left and right on the voice. On the music, I've panned it left and then I've sent it to stereo right, so that when I play, I also
4 fantastic awards to recognize.
So let me do this. Let me
Heroes come in all shapes and sizes. They can change lives, leave a legacy, or brighten the day.
Now if you hear that, the vocal is on the louder side and the music is slightly on the middle, so a bit low. Now you can adjust the volume here, but what I tend to do is add another compressor. Now this is where the magic is. If I go to the mix console and open up the mix console, which is the one that controls the overall, I put a compressor and the limiter. So this compresses everything that is coming through, the music and the voice. If I open this, I compress it slightly, even bit more. If you see how much I've compressed this one, it's the compressor that comes with the DAW. And then the limiter, I just increase it to about 4. Sometimes I go up to about 7, depending. So now I will switch on the plugin so you can hear the difference again without. So you've done all these things with the voice.
Heroes come in all shapes and sizes.
And now you've got the music.
They can change lives, leave a legacy, or brighten the day.
Off.
Here at Sanofi,
On.
we know we have our very own heroes.
Off.
So, we want to find these superstars and honor
On.
them. Introducing the Sanofi Play to Win Hero Awards. 4 fantastic awards to recognize our very own heroes. Stretch, take action, act for patients and customers, and think Sanofi first. Now, the power is in your hands. Who will you nominate?
So there you go. That's how I do the mix. I hope that helps.
Please